Namaskar. I welcome all our Sundar Parivar family members and all the viewers who are showering compliments on us to this new episode of Sundar. And the title, you are going to love it, because everybody needs day to day life, everybody needs it. What's it? These are the pain alleviating mudras. Okay, we call in Sanskrit as Vedana Shamak Mudra. The Hasta Mudras or the hand gestures which help to reduce pain. Now let's see what is pain. P-A-I-N, a small word, but it troubles everybody. Almost nobody escapes from this. Mild, moderate or severe, but pain is always there. Due to our faults at times, due to infections at times, or sometimes it is because of the emotional ups and downs. So what is pain? Pain is an unpleasant experience, sensory or emotional, which causes ADA. What is ADA? A is for anxiety. It causes lot of anxiety. D is for distress. It does cause distress. And the A again is for anger, because you all know if the pain goes severe, you lose your temper, you cannot tolerate it, How to combat the pain? Well, here allopathic medicines play a vital role, I don't deny. But every time if you go on popping pills in your mouth, ultimately the liver and the kidney, these are the silent organs working day and night for our health, they get affected. And once the damage is so silent that till you see the signs and symptoms, it has already damaged a lot of tissue. I have seen, you also must have seen or heard of cases which develop problems, severe problems with the liver only because of taking paracetamol tablet for a very long time and just as and when needed. That's why without doctor's prescription, please don't start taking painkillers too frequently, because it is ultimately going to affect your liver and then the kidney. Okay? So this pain perception, what actually happens? The nerves are there, if something goes wrong, like if there is some health disturbance or there is some injury, these are the two things which happen, either potential tissue damage or injury. So these two things lead to the severity of pain, okay, depending on the damage or depending on the severity of the injury. How do the Hasta Mudras help? Everybody has this question in their mind. I can read your minds, okay. So these Hasta Mudras, when you do, you join the fingers in particular way. So what happens, the nerve endings get stimulated. The nerve endings, when you join, they send signals to the brain, particularly to that area related to brain, to that particular organ or limb or that particular ailment. So it is like an electromagnetic field in the body that carries these messages, and then brain helps to secrete some hormones like endorphins. What is endorphin? It is a happy hormone, but it is also a pain reducing hormone. So if the endorphin is secreted, your pain level comes down. Okay. So let us see what are all these mudras. Now there is a plethora of systems, the plethora of the number of mudras you can't count, It's a vast ocean of knowledge. The more you plunge into it, more you find, the more relevant mudras you will find, and it will be very confusing. So I am going to simplify this for you because I have selected 9 mudras. Now you will ask me why 9? Here again, just like we saw the significance of number 7 in our previous episode of Ratha Saptami. So here why number 9? Because they say that 9 number it shows you are at the threshold of completing something, right? After 9, 10 comes, right? So again the counting starts from 1 to 10, right? So 9 number is at the threshold of completion or fulfillment. One more thing, in Chinese calendar also, or in Chinese belief, the 9 number they consider as extremely auspicious. One more significance, we know all the Navagrahas. The astrologers have proved and have been proving, through medical astrology, that all these planets are far away. They do affect, the waves do affect human health. So these grahas are also Navagrahas. Again, number 9. You know that Akbar had Navaratnas in his darbar, and including Birbal. These were very knowledgeable people. So he had selected them so that he can rule without any flaw or without any hurdle. So these were the Navaratnas. You heard about the Navagraha. Now see the human gestation period. 9 months, 9 days. Okay, again 9 months. So 9 figure, that's why I decided this time that out of these 9 mudras pertaining to your ailment, you can select what you want, and you need not do all 9 mudras. Nobody has that much time. You select 1 or 2 mudras or 3 mudras. You can do easily. It doesn't take much time, It just needs dedication. Then time is with you. If you have time, if you have dedication, if you have the sincerity, then you can do everything. It's an excuse, I don't have time. I feel it is an excuse. For your own health, for your own well-being, you have to spare time. Okay? So let us see what are these 9 mudras. The first mudra is called as gold standard mudra, which is the Vayu mudra. As the name suggests, Vayu means Vata. Vata, Pitta and Kapha. These are the 3 pravrutis which are told in Ayurveda. They decide whichever dosha or whichever element is more, that causes anything in excess is bad, right? So now we are going to do the Vayu mudra. As the name suggests, the Vayu mudra means Vayu is Vata. So if the Vata is in excess, the joint pain, the muscle pain, general fatigue, everything comes. So what you have to do is reduce the Vata. How do you do? With a gold standard mudra. Just, I have told you previously that if you touch the base of the thumb and put thumb over, that element gets suppressed. Okay? So now here the Vata finger we are touching at the base of the thumb. Thumb over that. Similarly in the other hand. And hold it on your thighs, okay? On your knees. Hold it close to you, little away from you, whichever position you are comfortable in. You can do it in Sukhasana, Padmasana if you can do, well and good. If you can't, Vajrasana if you can't do, just plainly sit in the sofa or chair and do it. But whichever asana you do, some asanas you don't have to touch the feet to the ground. There has to be some footwear or some wooden platform or a stool to keep your feet on that, so that the earthing doesn't take away the energy. I'll tell you which. Okay? So now this you can do, hold it like that. Start from 3 minutes. Okay? 3 to 5 minutes is decent period. If you can increase it up to 10 minutes, very well and good. If you can't, hold it for 5 minutes. But do it sincerely, once in the morning, okay, and once in the evening. If the pain is really very severe, if the Vata Vikar is more, you can do it 3 times. But then divide it into 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes. Remember, Vata Mudra has to be done only when pain is there. Some mudras like Jnana Mudra is there, Apana Mudra is there, Apana Vayu Mudra is there, Prana Mudra. These are excellent mudras. You can do as much as you want, as many minutes as you want, and daily also you can do. But this is the mudra which is not to be done if the pain isn't there. Okay? Reduce the Vata in case if you have the muscle pain, joint pain. Okay? You can use it for sciatica pain, cervical spondylosis. You can use it when you have too much gaseous distension. Yes, you can do this mudra. You will feel the relief. Okay? This is the mudra, Vayu Mudra. As I have told you, do it for 3 to 5 minutes. You can increase it into 10 minutes, but stop when you feel the relief. If you have too much of cervical stiffness or cervical pain, okay, due to cervical spondylosis, then in that case I will just add one small tip. 3 minutes Vayu Mudra if you do 3 to 5 minutes of Shankha Mudra, because combination of these two mudras go hand in hand to relieve the cervical pain. All these mudras, I have tested, experienced, this is evidence based, I am telling you the findings. Okay, so for doing Shankha Mudra, what you do is take your left thumb, wrap your right fingers around that thumb. The right thumb, close these fingers and join to the middle finger tip. Is it clear? I'll show you once again. Left thumb, wrap your right 4 fingers on that, join this and touch the tips of the thumb and the middle finger. It's so easy. So this looks like a conch. Okay, I will show you. See, right? So this you have to touch to the middle finger and then the index, just leave it like that. So hold this mudra near your Anahata chakra. This mudra helps a lot in reduction of cervical pain. Okay, because some chronic pains are really annoying, and then how much medicine you can take, because it doesn't give you cure, it just alleviates your pain or symptoms. It won't cure if there is any damage, if there is any injury. What you need, a lot of stretching, a good physiotherapy doctor and the mudras, right? So do it if you have a cervical problem. Now we move on to the next mudra which is Apana Vayu Mudra. As the name suggests, do first the Vayu Mudra, then touch the middle and the ring finger to the thumb tip. This becomes Apana Mudra, Apana Vayu Mudra. Hold it on your legs, thighs or knees, or hold it close to your navel or your Manipur chakra. So this mudra is also called as Mrita Sanjivani Mudra. As the name suggests, it will put a Sanjivani, it will revive, may it be any ailment, any pain, anything. But really this increases the energy flow. This mudra is so good that if anybody has a panic attack, this is the first thing which helps, before even the doctor comes to help. How it helps? When there is a panic attack, there is a sudden tightening of muscles, the chest muscles tighten, okay, and one gets utmost fear. So when you do this mudra, the tightening of chest muscles is eased out and the patient becomes much more calmer. Okay, if anybody has a gaseous distension, suppose if you have a very heavy meal and you feel loaded but you can't burp out the gas, you feel extremely restless, so much so that your chest starts hurting and you feel as if there is something wrong with your heart. Just do this mudra, it's so easy. Do the Apana Vayu Mudra, hold it and sit for 5 to 10, within 5 to 8 minutes you will burp out the excess gaseous problem, and then you will be much more calm, quiet and at ease. So this mudra does help in chronic pain, especially it helps in chronic joint pains, chronic knee pain. So these are some mudras if you do regularly, it is really good for health and it doesn't take much time. 5 to 8 minutes you can easily spare. If you feel better, sit for 10 minutes. You can do something. If you want to watch TV, you can watch TV. But your concentration should be on the ailing. If your knee is ailing, say in the mind that I am holding this mudra for the betterment of my knee. Concentrate on the ailing part and then do the mudra. So what it needs is you should be focused, If your attention is focused, suppose my left shoulder is hurting, I will hold the mudra, but I will say that I want relief from my left shoulder pain. Sometimes there are radiating pains or the referred pains, but this mudra does help in that also. Now we move on to the next mudra, which is Prana Mudra. Just like the Apana Vayu Mudra is a calming mudra and grounding mudra, Prana Mudra is extremely beautiful mudra. You know, you start doing the mudra, within few seconds, you will feel the sensation, the pulsating feeling in your fingertips. That means the mudra is acting, the energy is flowing. How you do it? You have to touch the tips of the ring finger, little finger and the thumb of left as well as right hand. So your index and the middle finger remain straight. Let the palm face sky. Hold it on your thighs. Sit like that for some time. Okay. So this mudra, how it helps? The first and the foremost thing is boosts your immunity to a great extent. So this mudra I was regularly doing during Corona period. It also helps in healing anything wrong inside the body. So you are getting pain, right? So if there is some injury or damage, what you need is healing. Now I'll tell you my reference. I had a meniscus tear. My right knee cartilage was fractured with a small accident. The pain went on increasing to such an extent, and that period was little crucial. 3 months were very crucial for me for some reason. I could not take rest. The pain increased so much that walking inside my house, even 4 steps, was extremely painful. So I started, along with my good physiotherapy regimen, I consulted an orthopedic surgeon. The Cartigen Pro was started. Some pain alleviating medicines were started. My physiotherapy doctor was too good. She is still with me all throughout my life journey. I owe her a lot, my gratitude to her. But along with that, I did this mudra. Okay. So what mudras I did? I did Apana Vayu Mudra. I like that mudra a lot. It gives you such a calm feeling. So I did Apana Vayu Mudra. Then I did this Prana Mudra, because Prana Mudra is excellent for chronic joint pain, especially the knees. Yes, do it. So I did the Prana Mudra. Any mudra you do for the pain, let it be followed by Prana Mudra. It will boost the action of the previous mudra. So beautiful it is. So this mudra I did. And let's move to the next mudra, which is Surya Mudra. Your ring finger goes to the thumb and thumb over it. This becomes Surya Mudra. What is Surya Mudra? Surya Mudra increases your BMR considerably. So Surya Mudra is great, for your mobility, your fitness. And the beauty of Surya Mudra is it will help you in association with other mudras. It will help you to overcome the inflammation in the body. My knee was highly inflamed because of the injury, and the internal inflammation, sometimes it increases so much that on touching the knee was appearing very warm compared to the other knee. Plus it started looking angry red. Why? Because there was so much inflammation. So along with my other treatments, I did this mudra also. So I did Apana Vayu Mudra, I did the Prana Mudra, followed by the Surya Mudra. But little difference is Surya Mudra I did first and Prana Mudra I did to end my mudra session. Okay. So that is how it helped me. It will definitely help you. So try these, You can note down, you can go back to my previously mentioned mudras. You can take notes if you want. In case if anybody needs help, they can approach me directly. But please consider doing these mudras because they are extremely beneficial. Your doses of your analgesics will come down to half or even quarter. So lesser the better, isn't it? Now we move on to the next mudra. This is one of the very, very beneficial mudra as far as your earaches are concerned. A toothache, unbearable it gets at times. Similarly, ears. If there is earache, that person will tell you how badly he suffers or she suffers when she gets an attack, because it is extremely unbearable pain. So what you do in that case, till you reach or find a doctor, till you take the medicine, just hold this mudra for some time. Take it from me. Either your tinnitus, that is ringing in the ear, or severe sharp earache, or vertigo because of the middle ear imbalance. All these problems the symptoms will become less severe if you do this mudra. That is called as Shunya Mudra. Okay. So in Shunya Mudra, what you do, this is the middle finger is Akasha Tattva, sky, ether. Okay. Let it go to the thumb base, the tip. You are reducing the Akasha Tattva. Okay. Both the hands. And then press the thumb over. So it makes us Shunya or 0. So hold it like that and then keep on your thighs. Sit for 10 minutes with calm mind, with deep breathing. Just don't think of anything else but pay attention only to your ear pain. Say that I want reduction, I want help, I want alleviation of my pain which is getting unbearable, but I am sure I am going to get benefit out of this mudra. Hold it, sit for some time. The sharpness of pain will start reducing. So this Shunya Mudra, always remember in earache, tinnitus, vertigo, or any nerve related pain for that matter. Let it be anything. Even trigeminal neuralgia is extremely severe pain. Do this mudra till you reach out for the medicines or till you see the doctor. Do this mudra. If you get little reduction in pain, your life will become much more easy. Okay, so this is Shunya Mudra. Moving on to the next mudra. This is one of the beautiful mudras for any kind of joint pain. The name itself suggests it is Sandhi Mudra. In Sanskrit, Sandhi, what does Sandhi mean? Sandhi is the joint. Okay, so Sandhi Mudra you do different with left and right both hands. Okay, in the left hand what you do is you touch the middle finger or the Akasha Tattva to the thumb tip for balancing the sky element or ether element or Akasha Tattva. With your right, touch the ring finger tip. So you hold right ring RR, easy to remember, and left you hold the Akasha Tattva. You sit again like this, the palms facing up. How does this mudra help? What is ring finger? Ring finger is, it is earth, Prithvi Tattva. So Prithvi Tattva is that Tattva or that element which gives you stability. Remember, if there is severe spinal pain attack, if there is a severe knee pain, knee goes wobbly, you lose your balance. I had experienced it, that anything, any uneven surface you step on, you can't keep yourself stable, that is so scary. So this is to increase the stability, you touch the tip of the ring finger. Okay. This is Akasha Tattva. What does Akasha Tattva do? Akasha Tattva is something that is everywhere in the body where there is gap between the bones, between the joints, between two vertebrae, there is Akasha Tattva. Okay? There is vertebral disc. See, if the gap increases, problems are there. If the gap reduces, then bone to bone friction happens. So all these elements are balanced by Akasha Tattva. What you are doing here is balancing your Akasha Tattva. So that's how it helps. Balancing the gaps, and this is balancing with the stability. So this is Sandhi Mudra. Way of doing similar. Only Vayu Mudra I said that you have to do less time, stop if the pain stops. These are very safe mudras. You can go on doing, there is no problem. Okay. Now we move on to the next mudra, which is known as Kati Mudra. As the name suggests, Kati Mudra is related to back pain. That's why its name is back pain mudra also. Now this Kati Mudra, how you do? This is a little different, so you should understand. With your left hand, you have to do the Vayu Mudra, but not full Vayu Mudra. You do Ardha Vayu Mudra. What does that mean? The first phalanx of your thumb, this is the first phalanx of your thumb. You touch it to the index finger nail, like that. Cover the nail with the first phalanx. This becomes Ardha Vayu Mudra. If you hold it this way, it becomes complete Vayu Mudra. You are not doing the complete Vayu Mudra. You are holding it halfway because you are controlling the tip of the Vayu Tattva. Okay. So this is Ardha Vayu Mudra. With the right hand, it is little difficult to remember. I will tell you, like I always use the code words so that it becomes easy to remember. So you remember LMT for right. What is LMT? L is for little finger, M is for middle finger, T is for thumb. This is extremely difficult mudra to do. You may not be able to do it immediately until you get that flexibility of your knuckles and fingers. So little finger, middle finger and thumb together, this is LMT. So it's known as a back pain mudra or Kati mudra. And I will tell you one valid point. Because it is a back pain mudra, some patients who have severe lumbar pain or spinal neuralgia, they cannot sit, in one place for longer time because the coccygeal bones start pricking like a thorn. Especially L3, L4, L5 when they are hurting, that also can cause you distress when you are sitting. So the patient has to lie down, either stand or lie down. So you will ask me then how to do this mudra. So the patient is getting severe pain. This is the mudra the patient can do in bed. No other mudra they are allowed to do in bed because you have to keep your spine erect and straight for the energy flow to go smoothly. But this mudra, you can hold the hands, in mudra by your side in bed also. There is one more mudra called as Jnana mudra, which calms your mind. So some patients who have insomnia, they can hold the Jnana mudra like this, touching the tips of index and thumb, and keep the arms on your side. You feel really calm, and even your insomnia problem severity reduces. Okay. So Kati mudra, when the patient is in ultimate pain, severe pain, the patient can do it in a lying down position. Okay. So I have spoken about the Kati mudra. Now we move on to the next mudra, which is called as Merudanda mudra. As the name suggests, what is Merudanda? Merudanda is your spine. It balances your Merudanda. So for the overall good health of spine, this mudra is good and it is very easy to do. Just join your fingers, fold in palm and keep your thumb straight. This becomes a Merudanda mudra. So it is for a overall good health of the spine. Now depending on the zone you are suffering from, if it is cervical, you hold the mudra this way. If it is more of lumbar or coccygeal region, you can hold it this way. But for overall benefit or overall well-being, this mudra is ideal. It can give you a balanced effect. This is Merudanda mudra. Now we come to the ninth mudra or the last mudra. The name, there is no particular name for this mudra, but it is very effective mudra, and the name itself tells you that it is Vedana Nivaran mudra. What is Nivaran? Nivaran is to do away with that pain. So it is Vedana Nivaran mudra. How you do? Now here you have to follow 3 rules. The first and the foremost thing is drink water and sit and do this mudra. Second thing is your spine has to be erect like any other mudra. The most important point here is there should not be any earthing. So you have to sit in any asana. Even if you sit in the chair, put a yogic asana and sit. I prefer my wool asana. It gives me good benefit. It relieves my pain. I put a wool asana on the seat where you are sitting. Okay. And see that your feet are not touching the ground. Your feet have to be away from the ground. So you cannot do it sitting on the lawns. You cannot do it with your feet touching the ground. There has to be a wooden platform or a stool below your feet so that the energy flow doesn't go by earthing. Okay, that's why do not use a metallic chair, preferably wooden chair. If you use a metal chair, that will carry all that energy. Okay, how you do that mudra? It's a simple mudra. With your left hand, you do prana mudra. We have already learned the prana mudra, right? The thumb, the ring and the little fingertips together. The beautiful mudra. And with your right hand, do the Akasha mudra. So here, because you are combining prana mudra with Akasha mudra, the earthing should not happen. Remember. You know why? Because this is going to balance your stability, the earth element or the Prithvi Tattva by the ring finger. Little finger, though it's a small finger, extremely important, Jala Tattva. In case if the Jala Tattva gets reduced, there is a desiccation. That's why when the aging happens, the lamina, the discs, everything gets desiccated, and that's how the small cracks appear. So this will retain your flexibility. That's why the Jala Mudra is also important, right? So here you are combining in Prana Mudra the earth element and the Jala element. So you are getting the stability as well as the flexibility, right? Because you are getting the right content of water restored, okay, in that particular tissue. That's why you have to concentrate where it is lacking. If my knee is hurting, my knee will be on my mind. If my shoulder is hurting, shoulder will be on my mind. If my cervical pain is there, I'll keep this area in mind. So this is the Prana Mudra. And with the other hand, you do the Akash Mudra. Why Akash Mudra? We have already learnt it, right? Now we become sane. So we know it already. Akash Mudra will balance the gaps. So balance the gap. If it is more, it will be reduced. If it is less, it will be increased. So bone to bone friction will not happen. And this mudra does give relief when you have extreme pain. But take care of that should not be earthing. Okay. So here we complete the 9 mudras. Now we are talking about 2 acupressure points which are extremely important. You may forget to do the mudra, but you will never forget these 2 points, because these are only 2 points I am telling you, and very easy to do that. The first point is LI4. This point is also known as Marma point. Okay, and this Marma point or VIP point they call it as is easy to locate. How? You join your index and the thumb finger, close the fingers like that. Okay, if you can see, there is a V shape formed here at the base of the thumb. Can you see it here? So there is a slight elevation here at the end. Okay, that is your LI4 point. If you can't find out like this, there is one more trick to find. This is your thumb. This is your first upper phalanx. Okay, this is the line dividing between. You touch that line to the web between the thumb and the index finger, and then put the thumb here. Where the tip touches, this is your LI4 point. Okay. So why I am holding this point? See, in case of females, always do acupressure for the right LI4 point. And for males, they should do it for left LI4 points. But for females, if the pain is extremely severe, first do the right and then do the left also. Okay. So you have to hold it like that. See, I am holding it firmly. And press and release. Press and release at least 30 to 50 times. You can go even up to 60 times. But press and release. And when you release it, do not lift the thumb. Let the thumb be there on the web, on the point. Okay. You just press and release and do deep breathing while you are doing so. Okay. You count and you see the difference. It does relieve pain. Remember LI4. Now we move on to the next acupressure point. The name of this acupressure point is SI3. One more name is there. It is also called as Hoxsey point. How does it help you? Because they call it a healing switch. What is a healing switch? It's a small button. You press it, and just like you press the button and the whole house is illuminated. Similarly, you press this button and you get enlightened because your pain reduces. How you do? How you find this point? It's very easy to do. Just do tighten your fist like that. Your fist is tight, right? Now look at the little finger base. Just below the little finger base, there is a slight knob like elevation. See here. Okay. This is your SI3 point. So this is a healing switch. You do what you do, with the middle finger and the thumb. You grip your wrist properly so that you get a support. And then press with the index finger. Press this point 30 to 50 times without lifting the index finger. Firm and good pressure. firm and good pressure, and do not lift the index finger. So again, if you are a male, the point is on your left hand, and if you are a female, tighten the fist of the right hand. Can you find this? It immediately rises this point. So hold it, firm pressure, release, firm pressure, release, firm pressure, release. That's it. So see, you saw for pain alleviation, you saw the 9 mudras, then you saw the 2 acupressure points, and just like our every episode, there is a take home point. So one more point I am telling you, I didn't mention it with the other mudras because other mudras will help you always pertaining to that particular ailment. You select the mudra and do. But this mudra, it acts like a laser pinpoint. What is it called as? It is called as Mukul mudra or Samana mudra. So like the name suggests, Mukul is a bud. It looks like a lotus bud, isn't it? This mudra. Plus Samana mudra because you are giving equal importance to each fingertip. All including the thumb, all the fingertips are together. So this mudra, you can hold it the same way facing the sky. But I will tell you one trick so that it becomes more powerful to alleviate the pain. Hold this mudra below your sternum. Sternum is the bone in the center of the chest, the rib cage, the sternum bone. Below that, this is called as epigastric region. So you hold the fingertips touching the epigastric region and sit like that with deep breathing for at least 1.5 to 3 minutes. If you want a quick relief, even 1.5 minute charging is enough. Just like you put your mobiles for charging, no? This is a charging point for your Mukulu mudra or Samana mudra. So you hold it there. Once 1.5 minute is done or once 3 minutes are done, your mudra is charged and ready for you. If you have a temporal headache, you can place the mudra here. If you have a frontal headache, place it here. If you have shoulder pain, place it there. If you have cervical pain, place it there. If you have a knee pain, place it there, okay? On the cartilage or the median compartment which was damaged for me, wherever is the pain, usually it starts with the medial compartment. Place it there. And then what I do is the other hand, I connect it for charging again. Okay? So till this acts, the other hand is ready for alleviating pain. So simple it is. It's pure logic, nothing else. And you know how they studied, the ancestors, the sages, the Dhanvantaris of those ancient times, how they studied this knowledge and how they made it go percolate through the next generation's brains. It's really amazing. So throughout our episode today, I have been talking about pain, and there are so many multiple ways of relieving pain, alleviating pain. Remember, physician and the medicines, it's mandatory. Visit to your doctor, visit to your physician, visit your orthopedic surgeon. If it is a bone or muscle problem, this is mandatory. But remember, there is one more parallel science which is going to help you by reducing the number of pills or by reducing the potency or dosage of that medicine, because ultimately everything metabolizes through liver and gets excreted through kidney. So too much of medicines or too many analgesics can, even paracetamol can cause liver tissue irreversible damage. I have seen cases, popping the pill every day 2-3 times over a period of few years made that patient's liver cirrhotic, fibrosed. So please don't let this happen. Practice the mudras which you like. If you have any doubts or confusion, you can always reach us anytime. We will be so happy to guide you. These 2 acupressure points are told you. They are of extreme importance. So follow that. Let the pain reduce. Let the dosage of medicines reduce. Okay? Stay happy. Stay healthy. Stay blessed. Stay rooted, because our tagline is going back to the roots. Thank you, dear friends. Please let us know how you like it by your comments. Please subscribe, share, and we are eager to get your views. This episode was in English because I wanted it to reach more people. I had special request from a close friend of mine that let some episodes be done in English so that more people can understand that. So that's why this is a topic of common interest for everybody. So tell us how you like it and stay connected. Thank you very much.